I know this must be so hard to believe because you must be seeing a lot of these lately.
A global pandemic.
Coronavirus
All of Italy is going on lockdown.
could end up getting corona.
It's been a hard road.
Now let's take a look at not 1, 2, 3 or even 4 but 15 countries which reportedly don't have a single case of coronavirus till now, and why that's the case, and are these reports even true? Now, before we move forward with the list, out of those 15 countries, 11 of them are island nations, which means remoteness, and remoteness means only one thing. In this age of social distancing rules, island nations are the original self-isolators. So first we will cover those 11 island nations and then move on with the rest. First we have Nauru in the Pacific Ocean, which is almost 200 miles or 320 kilometers away from anywhere, and it is the second smallest UN state in the terms of land after Monaco, and with just 10,000 people, the second smallest in terms of population after Tuvalu. It is also one of the least visited places on earth. One tour operator says the country has just 160 tourists a year. Along with Nauru, Kiribati, Tonga, Tuvalu, Vanuatu, Marshall Islands, Micronesia, Palau, Samoa, Solomon Islands are also located in the Pacific Ocean in the continent of Oceania, and they have similar characteristics to Nauru in terms of location, population, tourism, etc., which makes them safe from this global pandemic. So you may think such distant places would not need to distance themselves further, but some of those countries have only one hospital with no ventilators and a shortage of nurses, so they cannot take any chances. So that's why most of these countries have declared a national emergency lockdown for precaution against COVID-19. Now we have told you that out of those 15 countries, 11 of them are island nations. But we have only mentioned 10 above cause the 11th island nation is Comoros in the continent of Africa. It is located just above the island nation of Madagascar, and Comoros is only one of the 2 African countries which yet to report any confirmed cases. The next country after Comoros is Lesotho, which is a landlocked country inside South Africa, and somehow they are yet to report any COVID-19 cases, even though they are surrounded by South Africa, which is heavily infected. But that doesn't mean they are not prepared, as recently Turkey has sent protective gear packages to Lesotho in case the outbreak hits them. Next up we have 2 Asian nations, Tajikistan and Turkmenistan, which are also surrounded by infected nations, but they are also yet to report any cases, and that may very well be true. Tajikistan, for its part, has fiddled with various extremely oriented travel restrictions, but the President Rahmon continues to appear in the large public gatherings surrounded by crowds of women dressed in traditional garb or being hugged by throngs of children. On the other hand, Turkmenistan is on par with North Korea in terms of state secrecy and isolation, but much more distance from the source of the virus, China, with objectively few travelers passing through the country. The virus may have not arrived yet, and due to the poor healthcare system, they may not even have the capacity to test for the virus in the first place. So we just don't know what's true and what's not because of the authoritarian nature of the government. So speaking of authoritarian nature of the government, we have North Korea. North Korea has taken some of the most intense measures since the virus was first reported in January. It was among the first countries to seal its border in February. It automatically quarantined all foreign diplomats in Pyongyang for 1 month and controlled the movement of its population. The DPRK's official stance is that North Korea is clear of infection. This, however, is beginning to look unlikely. In early March, South Korean daily Enki News reported that as many as 200 North Korean soldiers had died from COVID-19, with further 4,000 in quarantine. While the reporting of the coronavirus is controlled in North Korea, information on the global pandemic is not being suppressed in the country. However, there are no specific public discussions taking place on whether there is outbreak in North Korea. So in the end, except for the island nations, what should we make of the countries that have not reported any cases? Are they unable to test? Are they lying? Are they that isolated? The reality looks like to be a mix. Let us know your thoughts about it in the comments down below, and we will see you in the next one.